Good evening. My name is Rick Roden. I'm the president and CEO of the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce, and we're coming to you with a Facebook Live update. This week won't be quite as long as they have been in weeks past, but I did want to give everyone an update on what's going on. There were some major changes last week with Congress. There was a new bill passed. I think they're calling this Phase 3.5, but what it was a replenishment of the Paycheck Protection Program and then the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Grants. So I wanted to give you an update on that. Some of you may have applied and have not received any money. Some of you may not have applied, which right now I'll tell you immediately, go apply. Go through your bank, get on SBA, go ahead and apply, because all the talk is we're going to run out of money again. But to give you an update on the replenishment, there was a $310 billion increase. That gives a total of $659 billion for the Paycheck Protection Program. There are set-asides in these amounts of the new $310 billion increase. $30 billion of loans made by insured depository institutions and credit unions that have between $10 and $50 billion. $30 billion for loans made by community financial institutions, small insured depository institutions and credit unions less than $10 billion. And then there's no changes in the eligibility for PPP for 501c6s. There was an effort to put nonprofit 501c6s in this funding, was unsuccessful. There will continue to be efforts for the next one, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. There will be a next one maybe down the road a little bit. There was a $10 billion increase for a total of $20 billion now for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Grants, and an additional $50 billion to support EIDL loans. This time it does allow agricultural enterprises, as defined by Section 18B of the Small Business Act, with not more than 500 employees to receive Economic Injury Disaster Loan Grants. There's been a $75 billion increase. Now it's up to a total of $175 billion for reimbursement to hospitals and healthcare providers. No change in the requirements from the CARES Act. Now there's also an additional $25 billion for COVID-19 tests. This covers expenses to research, development, validate, manufacture, purchase, administer, and expand capacity. $11 billion for states and localities, and includes ability to cover cost of testing for employers. Then there's also a $1 billion for the CDC for contact tracing. So as you can see, it's a rather large bill that was passed. I believe it's $484 billion total. Don't know how much longer we can keep doing this, but they're already talking about a Phase 4 bill. There's going to be some fighting over this one, probably unlike we saw in the first two. It's several weeks away, maybe even late summer. They want to address some of the things that were unfunded in the CARES Act. They want to find additional funding for state and local government. And also they want to put into this next one some issues regarding return to work. So we hope to see some things opening up before the end of the summer, though, that's for sure, as far as returning to work. Now they're even talking about a Phase 5 bill, which would be an infrastructure bill. The infrastructure bill has been talked about for several years now, a need to address the infrastructure in the entire country, and they're thinking that this will help restart the economy. So you'll see some talk about a Phase 5 bill later this summer. Don't know how that's going to work out, but we got to get the economy back going. Also, if you will go to uschamber.com, there's a guidebook now for independent contractors. They were late receiving dollars because of the bill did not allow them to apply for the original dollars, but for independent contractors, go to uschamber.com for a guidebook, and this guidebook will cover the PPP, the Payroll Protection Plan, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, and unemployment insurance. So I encourage you to do that. Now, what are we doing here local? We continue to upgrade our restaurant grid. From what I'm hearing, you're going to start seeing a few more restaurants open up. Right now, they'll continue to be either drive-through or curbside pickup, but you're going to see more restaurants. I'm already talking to some of them, and some of our restaurants that completely closed down during this crisis are looking at reopening. We also continue to call every single chamber member, and that's 650 members, so that's taking a while, but we're just checking on them, seeing how they're doing, making sure everything is doing well. We continue to deliver groceries to the elderly, to the senior citizens that really do not need to be out, and also some of them that cannot be out, so we continue to do that. The Downtown Redevelopment Authority had opened up a grant application for for restaurants within 1.5 miles of downtown. That grant application process has closed. The committee will be meeting this week to look at those applications and see who qualifies and get some money to these restaurants, because restaurants are very, very hard hit. Now, the biggest news, and I guess the thing that we're most excited about right now, is we have now opened up the Small Business Relief Fund grant application. The Small Business Relief Fund is a fund that the Chamber looked at. We reached out first to Google. We can now say who our number one donor is, and that's Google. They stepped up and they donated $25,000 to our Small Business Relief Fund, and we certainly thank them. They have been great, great community partners since the day they announced that they were coming to Jackson County. But also, Regions out of Birmingham has donated $8,000, so we appreciate what they've done. I was in a small meeting on Friday and ran into Greg DeVries, was telling him about this, and the Well Church here in Scottsboro has stepped up, and they're donating $1,000. Then we've also opened up a tab on our website where anyone can donate. And just Friday night, I received a notice through our PayPal account on our website that we had an individual that donated $250, and we certainly appreciate that. Any amount that people can donate, no amount is too small, and of course no amount is too large. But we are now opening up to people being able to being able to donate, but also they can apply for the loans, for the grants, not loans, grants. They can apply for the grants through mountainlakeschamber.com. That's www.mountainlakeschamber.com. And of course, that's also a place that you can go to donate to the Small Business Relief Fund. We've looked at some of the statistics this morning. Sarah did a great job of putting this together on our website and laying it out. We've got an application form that's really very simple to apply. We have had 33 businesses apply for the Small Business Relief Fund here at the Chamber. And out of those, 50% of them are sole proprietors. And I think you're seeing that number being pretty high because a lot of the sole proprietors were not able to apply for the original CARES Act funds. So that's not really a surprise to see that. We also opened it up to where it was between 1 and 30 employees. And so 1 in 20 employees. So we really know that the small businesses are the ones that are being hit so hard. 12% are corporate, 33% are LLC as far as the people that applied. And this will be open for probably another at least week or so. And then we've already formed a committee. The Chamber Board of Directors formed a committee to be able to review these. One of the questions on there, have you received any money from CARES Act? And it's we were surprised somewhat that a pretty good large percent of people have not received any money at all. And that's the ones that we're really wanting to help. That does not mean that you won't receive money if you applied and have already received some money from the CARES Act, but certainly I think priority is going to be given to those that have received nothing, and they need help more than anyone. So this committee will be meeting here within the next week to 10 days, so start reviewing it. By then we should have the dollars in, but in the meantime, we encourage people to continue to donate. Small amounts, doesn't matter. Continue to donate so where we'll have more dollars to be able to give to these businesses that are very, very much in need. If you are a corporation, a larger corporation, and want to donate, if you will contact me, I will be glad to walk you through that or talk to you about the possibility of donating some larger amounts. We would love to see some larger amounts come in so that we'd have more dollars to be able to help. But again, if you will go to www.mountainlakeschamber.com, You can either fill out an application or you can donate. So I encourage people to do that. We will continue to work with our small businesses and help them in any way we can. The legislature was supposed to go back in session April the 28th. The governor has changed that to May the 4th. I talked to Senator Livingston this past week, and their top priority when they go back in is pass a budget. They're required by law to pass a balanced budget every year, so that is going to be top priority when they go back in May 4th. Whether or not there's a special session called later by the governor, we don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that, but they definitely have to go back in and pass a budget. We'll continue to working with him on a state level to be able to see what we can do to help our businesses. In the meantime, there's a lot of talk about reopening our economy. We're hoping and praying that come May the 1st, when the stay-at-home order is over by the governor, that it will not be extended. We certainly know that there will be precautions put in place and steps put in place to be able to keep everyone safe. We know that our businesses and our business owners and our entrepreneurs are very, very smart. They're going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to come up with their systems to keep everyone safe. I don't know what the requirements are going to be coming from the state as far as moving forward if we do start seeing the economy reopen, but there is lots and lots of damage as we continue to see things are forced to close, and we've got to be able to get this economy reopened so that we can save some of these businesses. And we really, really hate to say that we know we're going to lose some small businesses. So we're excited about the prospects of getting our economy reopened. We also don't overlook the fact that we got to stay safe. We can encourage people to still take the precautions that you've been taking. Make sure that you social distance. Make sure that you wear a mask. When I go out to stores, if I have to go to the grocery store, I wear a mask. Is it the most comfortable thing? No, but I think it's safe for us and for the people that we're around when we go shopping, when we do have to go get groceries. So we do encourage everybody to continue to stay safe. Call the chamber. You can call my cell phone number, 256-628-1212, or email me at Roden, Roden, at scottsboro.org. Also, the rest of the staff, you can contact them. Each one of them are working from home, and we continue to work very, very hard to try to help our small businesses. So stay safe, but let's get excited about reopening this economy.